Good day, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of CurKym Brick Builds. And we really are building bricks. So you clicked on the thumbnail, you see what it's about. Today we are revealing our very first MOC. If you don't know what a MOC is, MOC stands for My Own Creation, and that is what we have developed here. I have spoken before about this kind of natural progression a Lego or brick person goes through, right? Where you start off just buying a set, building it, enjoying it, and that's great. And if that's all you ever do, that's still pretty good because there's so much variety out there. But then maybe it doesn't become quite enough. So you start looking for other things. Maybe you start looking at alt bricks because maybe, Lego, obviously you're going to start with Lego. Lego doesn't maybe have what you want, so you look at alt bricks. But then maybe that's not enough. And then you discover rebrickable, where other people who have put out their MOCs go and you can buy them and you can then build up their creations and stuff like that. And that's all really awesome too. But then you get to a point, you get the itch, you get the desire. I want to make something on my own. And that's where you end up. And that's where we have ended up today. So what we are about to reveal to you is the MOC that we have created. So when thinking of your first MOC, or when I was thinking of my first MOC, and again, this was a bit of a process, and I was like, what do I want to come up with? An original design? No, I'm not ready for an original design yet. And then Kim and I were like, what do we like to do? Well, we like Disney stuff. Okay, what kind of Disney stuff do we like? And then ding, 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 it hit me. The Contemporary Hotel in Disney World in Orlando. We won't ever be able to afford to stay there. So I said to myself, if I can't go there, I'm bringing the Contemporary Hotel to me. So we settled on that. We settled on the Contemporary Hotel. And then I figured out, well, you know what? If I want to build this, I better figure out how to use Bricklink Studio. If you're not familiar with Bricklink Studio, it is a free program that is actually linked to the Bricklink website, where you can go and, again, it's free, and make your creations in virtual. And it's basically a 3D CAD program, but with Lego bricks, which is fantastic. And you have the color. Anyway, this is not a Bricklink Studio tutorial, but I had to become familiar with that and quick. So I haven't bought a new PC in probably 10 years. So the first thing we had to do was go out and buy a new PC, spend about $500 on one, something like that. And then I had to figure out actually how to use it. And the best way to figure out how to use Bricklink Studio is go out and look at all the available YouTube videos that provide tutorials. That was great. That helped me out a lot. I also joined the Facebook Studio designer group, and I put out a couple questions to them when I ran into some roadblocks, and they were very helpful as well. But the best way to really learn it is to use it. And I went big. I really wanted to do as much as I could with my limited knowledge of the program, but to try to build a fairly faithful recreation of the Contemporary Hotel. And are we ready for the big reveal? Kim's going to make this full size so you can see it. Here is a rendering. This is what you can do in Studio. A rendering of our design. Drink it in. As you can see, it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. I'm actually quite happy with it. Here's a picture of the real Contemporary Hotel, and you can tell me if you think it actually looks fairly accurate or not. Now, my computer knowledge, I would put it, and my, comfort with working with programs, a solid 4 out of 10, okay? I am not the techiest guy in the world. And Bricklink Studio is, although it's an incredible program, there's a learning curve to it. That's all I got to say. I think just like with any program, a learning curve. So I was learning as I was going. I probably went through a couple of different iterations of this while I was learning. However, the biggest hiccup that I have run into, the most difficult thing for me, is using the built-in instruction maker. Now, this thing will get built. We are going to build this. However, I am right now in the process, as we put this thing out there, of working on the instructions. That is, I'm finding to be the most difficult aspect of this whole entire process. Will this thing ever make it on Rebrickable or something like that? Maybe. I don't know. I would love for it to, but I'm not going to put something out there that is not good and that people would have a really difficult time, especially considering that to build this thing is not going to be cheap. I can't remember. It's actually rendering animation right now, so I can't go on my computer and look, but it's well over 8,000 pieces. It's big. It's going to be big, and I actually can't wait to build it. Kim and I are going to start saving up some money and start collecting the parts to make this thing. So we will keep you informed of the process as we move forward. So again, will it ever be out there? Don't know, but that actually ultimately is the goal. But we will keep you informed. Stay tuned to the channel, because we're going to keep you informed along the way when we start, buying the pieces, and we're definitely going to put it on a mill's plate because it's going to be heavy. And we start doing all this stuff and keep you informed as the process continues on. So what do you think? Leave a comment. Do you like this thing? Do you hate it? I mean, be nice, I guess. But I think for my very first attempt, I feel pretty good about it. I feel like when I was building it, that it was coming together and looking pretty accurate. I kept referring to images, the many images out there of the contemporary, and trying to get some of the details. But here's the thing too, and I would love to hear from other mock designers on this. When do you know when to stop, right? How much detail do you go into? It feels like, I just could have kept going, but at some point you have to say, okay, that's good, that's enough. Anyway, leave a comment, hit that like. If you're not subscribed, please do that. Stay tuned for more updates on our contemporary hotel mock. I am so excited to get started on this thing and building it, and we'll keep you up to date. All right, thanks. We'll see you later.